Good evening. Spent a couple hours rearranging my setup today, and I have a lot more rearranging to do. I'm not too happy with it. So I think I'm going to have to reposition my camera or something. I don't know. I'm not really... It's not looking like what I thought it would. What's going on? Heard that car's cleared. White Hyundai. Some other case popped up over the last couple days. Don't know too much about it. I don't even know anything really. Little girl. North Carolina. Oh, burr. Just kind of looking over some stuff real quick. All right, that's it. Let's see. What's up, Kib Kitty? On sunlighting. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's weird though. I wonder why it was left with no plates. I heard it's not part of it though. So let me see here. Okay. We'll see. I forgot about putting up a notification even. I think it was like maybe an hour and a half before the show. I was like, shit. Was going to take the night off tonight too, but I was like, no, I need to get on. I'll figure out all this setup stuff tomorrow or the next. I don't know about tomorrow because I got to work late again now. Change the schedule again. So let me see what Brian Enton has on his Twitter here. Saw I had some videos on News Nation. Classes will resume. Distributing safety alarms. Oh boy, is that what we're about to get? Let's see, this was the 20th, not believed to be connected. This was yesterday. We'll have to watch that one. Sleeping inside a vehicle. Huh. Oh, that's in Eugene, Oregon. What the heck? Okay, we've seen that one. I know, Kib Kitty. I've heard another champion. I get so confused with who's who still. Let's see. Okay, we saw that. We saw that. Did we? Is this the same one? Yeah. Same body cam. Okay. So this one must be new. Let's see what this says real quick. Wonder what he's holding.
Sir, can you tell us what you were looking for while you were back at the house? Do you know anything about the Hyundai Elantra found in Oregon?
Where'd the sound go? Why is the sound disappearing? What the heck? Huh. Oh, it's gotta be so cold there. Police are working to see. Okay, that was yesterday. Same video. It is not believed. What is this? Road conditions?
Hey everybody, I just wanted to get on here and say hi. I haven't done a live stream in a while. Will and I are driving now in Moscow. It's like super snowy. Like it was like icy earlier. What did you say, Will? Like,
Yeah, it was like freezing.
I think they cleared the crime scene like a week or two ago, a week and a half ago, something like that. They cleared the crime scene, but they're still going back here and there. I'm not sure why. Maybe I know they're doing this 3D crime thing where it takes like all of these quick photos in a 360-degree angle, and I guess what it does is it allows people to put on a VR headset and you can actually walk through the crime scene. Some kind of new VR thing, and I'm wondering if that's what those people are there for, is to maybe they got the photos of the crime, now they're getting the photos of the surrounding, like the walls and stuff, maybe to blend them together to... I'm not sure. It did look like a weird suitcase type thing. It looked like some kind of kit of some sort.
It's like freezing rain, and now it's like snowing again. It's been snowing for like the last day here, but we're actually going to the police station to do Banfield tonight. From there, we got some information like about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, about the white Hyundai in Oregon, that it is not connected. They do not believe it's connected to the case. So this is the police station here. I'll get out. I haven't done a live stream from the police station, so I'll kind of show you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna get back in a minute. So, all right. You can see all the snow.
Oh, forget that.
So this is
Oh my gosh.
This is the front of the police station. You guys have seen it in the video and everything. I'll wait for this officer to move out of the way.
I think
Snow
they're
is
getting
crazy
the storm, yeah, that we're about to get tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, is my cell service bad? Someone's saying I need a new cell provider. I mean, this is like heavy snow. Granted, I'm from Florida, but to me it seems like heavy snow. So this is kind of interesting. They're back there. Can you guys see that? Like, it looks like a big RV with the lights on the side through the fence. That's the FBI mobile unit that came from Salt Lake City. So we're told like everything they would have to send back to Salt Lake City, a lot of it they can do right there in that FBI mobile unit back there. It's back behind the police station. So, all right, I'm like literally getting snow. I'm gonna get back in the car and then I'm gonna tell you guys more.
Thank you, Kip Kitty.
Is the car open? Yeah, the self-service is not great in Moscow, but I will be on Banfield tonight in about a half an hour. So let me kind of go through the updates with you guys today. I know there was a lot of talk about the white Hyundai in Eugene, Oregon. Started asking police about it this morning, wasn't getting a response for a while. So like, I wasn't sure, maybe it was connected. Then they said they were looking into it. The latest is that they say it is not connected. The owner, I guess, is from Colorado. They don't think the owner or the car is connected. And let me turn the windshield wipers off. And so the owner's from Colorado. They don't believe it's connected. And I guess the car crashed at one point and then there was a homeless man sleeping in it. So kind of a weird situation, but they say at this point not connected to the murders. We were at the house this morning. So we got a tip yesterday that investigators would be back at the house today. So we made sure to get there really, really early. And then around 10 a.m., 2 detectives did go into the house. They had like a black Pelican case, like a big black plastic, like briefcase looking case. I'm told that usually those are used. There's usually like some kind of evidence collection tools inside. They were there for about 20 minutes and then they left. Also new today, and if you go back and look at some of my videos from today. So last night on Banfield, the lawyer for the Gonzalez family expressed, they support law enforcement, but also say they want to hold them accountable. And he expressed concern with who he said was the lead investigator for Moscow PD, only having 2 years of experience. The police chief today put out a video pretty much responding to that. I mean, they didn't say they were specifically responding to the attorney, but it's pretty clear they were, saying that, the command staff of the investigation has a combined 94 years experience, and there's also 60 FBI agents assisting. So, just trying to, and he also made the point that Moscow PD is in charge of this investigation. Let me start reading some of your comments. How long do I plan on staying? So I am gonna go home. I mean, things have been pretty slow right now. So I am gonna go home and recharge, um, and then come back after the holidays. So, but we do have another crew that just got here, so they'll be here. So if anything happens, they'll still be totally covered. Everything will be on News Nation. I'll still be tweeting and doing my normal thing. I am gonna go home for the holiday. Just reading here. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm from Florida, but I'm actually rented a house in Georgia for Christmas and gonna drive up there with those of you who follow me know I have 3 dogs, so gonna go up there with the family and the dogs. So if something breaks, though, I'll come back. So I can't really see the police station, but we do have a crew here. So yeah, I'll be back. Yep. So Alex Capriello from News Nation will be here, and then Nancy Lou will be back, and then I'll be back. So, and like I said, I'll you guys know me by now. Like, it's not like I'm just gonna stop like reporting on the case. I mean, I'll still be in touch with everybody, the families and the lawyer and the police and with my colleagues. So I'll still be tweeting and everything like normal. Oh, actually, if Moscow's a ghost town, it's pretty quiet right now because most of the students went home for winter break, and it's pretty much cleared out right now. I'm at the police. So those of you just joining, I'm at the police station. So this is Moscow Police. We're actually going to go live from here for Banfield tonight. So this is where, like, there's actually a room upstairs where all the investigators are, and this is kind of like the main spot where they work. And if you go back and look at the beginning of this video, I showed in the back parking lot over there is the FBI mobile unit that they have here. So that's where the FBI that came from Salt Lake City. So Adam, some of you are asking about Adam, the video that we got over the weekend where you hear them talking about Adam, Maddie, and Kaylee when they're walking the night before the murders. Today, the police did say that we knew they had the video, but today they said that Adam has been cooperating with the investigation. So that's kind of the latest we have on that.
Huh, they're saying he's cooperating.
We don't know what investigators were doing at the house today. And if you go back and look at my video, I tried asking them when they were coming out. I wasn't really expecting them to answer, but we don't know. It was planned, though, because we got the tip yesterday they were going to be there. So are you good?
It is cold.
It is cold.
It's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold, baby.
Let's see what else you guys are saying. Do I get the feeling that they're getting close? Some of you asking. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people ask me this. My family and friends have been asking me. We really just don't know. Again, today they said they don't have any suspects officially. So we don't have any reason to believe they're getting close at all. I mean, unless there's some really big secret that they're not sharing with us or the families. But there's nothing they're telling us that indicates they're getting close.
Wow.
So yeah, it is really sad for the families. Maddie and Kaylee are going to be having their families are having a celebration of life for them on the 30th, I believe, end of next week. So obviously our hearts just continue to go out to the families, especially around the holidays. I can't even imagine.
That too, because they're so far away from convicting or arresting somebody. That's a good point.
Sorry, I'm just reading everything you guys have been typing, so I'm being quiet. Yeah, I mean, you're asking if the family's been harassed. Yeah, the lawyer has said and said last night to us that they've been getting harassing emails and that kind of thing, and the police said other people involved in the case have gotten death threats. So, that is just awful to hear.
Hey, Bobby, thanks for hopping in. Hope you are too. Happy holidays as well.
So, sorry, I was just reading everything you guys are saying. Did Kaylee's dad hire the PI? I don't know anything about a PI right now, and I've been in touch with the family and the lawyer. All I know about is that they have the lawyer. I don't know about a PI. So
I'm just checking this video out real quick, and then we'll go.
Did I see cameras in town? We actually have a segment on Banfield tonight towards the end of her show where we drive through a big part of the town and kind of show all the buildings and cameras and that kind of thing. So that might help answer that question. If you watch, it'll be on in about, her show starts in about 25 minutes.
I don't know if I have that episode or not. I'm going to have to go through all my News Nation and first see if I can find that one. I don't recall it.
So someone's saying the town is so small, very few cameras. Yeah, I've noticed that too. A lot of people don't have cameras. There's not a lot of crime here. It's not like a big city where everybody has cameras. But I have been wanting to say this for a while. It's a really nice town. The people are amazing in Moscow. We've met so many nice people. It's a really, really nice town. I feel really bad for the people that live here, that this has happened in their town, because it's just a really nice place. I don't know if you guys have seen many pictures. The downtown is really nice. Kind of reminds me of, like, my mom likes those, like, Hallmark Christmas movies. Like, it reminds me of, like, what you would see in a Hallmark Christmas movie, the downtown. Like, it's just perfect.
Huh.
There's beautiful lights. There's a beautiful Christmas tree.
Fucking cold as shit.
It's really nice. And just the people are especially
you, Bobby.
nice here. So, it's really sad that they're going through it.
It's sad they don't have anybody yet.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. There's a ton of snow. It's crazy. Yeah, we're definitely not. Someone said, like, we're adding to the hate towards law enforcement. I mean, I really hope we're not. I have a lot of respect for law enforcement, so we're not trying to be hard on the police in any way. We're just reporting, like, the family wants accountability. There hasn't been an arrest made. So we're just,
Yeah, it's been a long time.
trying to stay on top of it. But they're working really, really hard. I mean, they're working around the clock. They're working through the holidays. They work through Thanksgiving. They're all missing time with their families. I mean, they want to really solve this. So I only have respect for the people working on the case. So I don't want to, whoever thinks that I'm, have hate towards law enforcement, I really hope that it doesn't seem like that, because I don't at all.
Punksy, good evening. This is Brian Itton. He's in Moscow, Idaho. About the 4 students that were murdered. Good evening, Punksy. Definitely
So
follow
anyway,
Punksy.
thank you
Let me
guys
throw her link
for
up.
following along today. It was kind of actually we had a lot of stuff going on today with the looking into the Elantra and then the people showing up at the detective showing up at the house this morning. So we'll have it all for you on Banfield tonight, about 20 minutes from now on News Nation, and then we will stay on it and just hope that something happens so these families can have a little bit of peace and justice around the holidays. You know, it's
Yeah, this happened about a month and a half ago. Well, it was
so.
right before.
All right, you guys, have a good night, and I'll see you guys on Banfield in a little bit.
Right after
Bye-bye.
Halloween, I believe. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was right after Halloween. Well, thank you, Punksy. I appreciate it. I had to take a break last night, and honestly, I even thought about taking a break tonight because I needed to pick a different wall. What's up, Donovan? I needed to pick a different wall because the wall that I picked didn't work out like I thought it would. So, but it was already too late. It took me like 2.5 hours to move everything around and shit. And yeah, it just didn't work out that great. Let me make sure. Let me see. My microphone. Yeah, my microphone's set. Okay. It looked weird. It's looking like it's not picking up. Very good. I'm doing good. Thank you. I'm glad you're doing awesome. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I needed to take a break. I was like, damn, I did like 49 episodes in a row. I was like, woo. And all I did, honestly, most of it was just sleep. That's basic. I just slept a lot. I came home, freaking woke up at like 8:30 or something. 8. Oh, thanks, Donovan. Definitely follow Punksy too. She's got a lot of hella crazy, hella awesome community posts. Some of oh, I just keep laughing at some of them. Oh, it's all good. Yeah, so this is Bobby, this is about the 4 University of Idaho students that were murdered. They still have yet. I mean, it really doesn't seem like they have much, really. So I'll go ahead and turn on the. I'm definitely going to be changing the setup coming up. I even look at that. I even got my freaking favorite record up there. I got my little Christmas stocking hanging up. Yeah, just send it to my email. Usually I just call people buddy. It just comes out natural. Sometimes I just call everybody buddy. Sometimes people need to quit sending cookies. Kitty. Oh, cookies. I've had a lot of cookies lately. So let me see if anything's breaking. I even got a tripod to put my webcam in front of me. But when I put it above the TV, on the TV, it's like you're looking down at my hat. Behind the TV and above it, it looks really weird and far away, so I don't know. I have to mess with the camera, maybe readjust the microphone. I don't know. I got a lot of time off coming up, so I'll be able to get it all squared away. Let's see. I'm just kind of looking through the updates real quick. I don't see anything breaking. Yeah, there's nothing breaking. Okay. We'll switch to the videos. You cut your toenail. Sounds like that shit hurts. Yeah, I figured I needed to move the setup. I liked the setup I had before, but I figured I needed to move it because it was right in front of a frickin' window, and we're about to be minus 30 for like a week or two, and I'm like, it was already cold enough sitting in front of that damn window. It's like, nah, I need to move it to the other fucking wall. And this is what I got, so I don't know. 6th time? Damn, you're keeping track? Yeah, do me a favor, EvilleCJ@gmail.com. Just send me the link to the video you want me to check out, and I'll hit it up after I'm done. Yeah, man. Happy Christmas. Happy New Year. I'll probably be doing a stream on Christmas. I don't know. I might even, speaking of, I'm definitely going to be doing New Year and Christmas streams on Twitch. I'll be doing some gaming and shit. I reorganized all my fucking links and now I can't find shit. Fuck. Son of a bitch. Where did I put it? There it is. Oh my god. I reorganized it all yesterday and then look what happens. Yeah, follow me on Twitch. I'll be doing some gaming. Probably GTA. Fortnite. Be doing some gaming on Christmas and New Year's. Thank you, Kip Kitty. I appreciate that. Alright. So some of these videos are going to be old. Some of them are going to be new. Why are some of them... Okay, so I must have added these. When did I add those? I don't remember adding those. Okay, revisiting. No leads after all. Okay, here we go. Let's check out this new crime talk here. Well, yeah, it's an hour old. And we'll be checking in with Ryan Hall, y'all, in a little bit. Not personally, but I'm going to be hopping over to his channel and we'll check out what he's got. What he's got coming up. It's
no leads after all in the
brand
Idaho
new
college homicide case. Alec Murdaugh gets life for an early Christmas gift. Police department have looked into the mystery car behind the crashed Hyundai that was found in Eugene, Oregon, and the police believe there's no connection whatsoever of that case to the murdered college students.
Crime talk.
So now they're asking for people to stop hounding the actual car's owner. That's right. Now, yesterday we brought you the story, this whole thing about the Hyundai. It's abandoned there, no license plate. It's got to be good. Things are looking up. Maybe a break in the case. Turns out not the case. And if you joined us for our live program last night, we brought you the report, the press release from the Moscow Police Department, and they're like, yeah, has nothing to do with it. We've spoken to the owner. The car's registered to somebody in Colorado.
Oh, wow.
No connection to the Idaho case regarding the 4 slain college students there in Moscow, Idaho. So the Moscow PD says that the department has spoken to the female owner of the white car found in Eugene, and she is not believed to have any relation to any property in Moscow, Idaho, and anything related to the investigations. As you may recall, the cops say the vehicle is registered in Colorado and was involved in a collision, subsequently being impounded. The Moscow police are specifically asking the public to stop contacting the owner. I get it. Everybody gets excited, but there is kind of technically one investigation going on, however slow it may be going. So they don't need to be bombarded by thousands of internet sleuths, so to speak. And this car came about because apparently somebody was sleeping inside of this car, even though it looks like it was obviously been in an accident and abandoned. And they made contact with the person, and the matter's all been cleared up. And the bottom, to say the least, the murder investigation, let's face it, it's gone cold. And the attorney for the Gonçalves family stated yesterday that the lead investigator in this probe is a former Army veteran. He's 32 years old. And he joined the law enforcement community 2 years ago. The Gonçalves family attorney has stated that the man in charge, a guy by the name of Brett Payne, has been on the force for 2 years. He's been hired in 2020 as a rookie. And so he has 2 years of experience, which is not exactly instilling a whole lot of trust and confidence. Now, let's face it, the guy that may be the, quote, lead investigator, listen, they've got 60 some odd FBI agents, state police. He may be the lead, but he's not in charge. And I truly believe the police are working diligently. They've got 62 people, almost 100 agents, 62 federal agents, state police, as well as full-time police officers there in Moscow working on this case. If they had something, they want to solve this case just as quickly as everyone else does. They just have nothing to go on, which, as we talked about on the live last night, is, wow, is this person some sort of expert, or are they just super lucky to go in and, slay 4 people and get out with not a single piece of physical evidence tying them back to an individual? Interesting. Well, what's also interesting is yesterday, investigators returned to the house where these 4 college students were stabbed to death, because they say they went back to collect more evidence in an ongoing investigation, which I think is a little weird because, as you recall, the investigators had turned the house back over to the landlord. So their crime scene people were in the residence for about 20 minutes yesterday. They continued in their investigation in regards to the death of obviously Kaylee Gonçalves, Madison Mogan, Zainer Kronoble, and Ethan Chapin for the murders that go back to November 13th. We'll continue to follow that. Hopefully something will break here sooner rather than later. Next on the docket, Alex.
Nah, I don't care about that one. That's been what? Scott Peterson? Huh? What's going on with Scott Peterson?
Scott Peterson gets life, but that's not exactly what he was looking for. So Scott Peterson is going to remain behind bars for the rest of his life after his request for a new trial on the grounds that his conviction was compromised by a biased juror was tossed out. Now, as you may recall, he was convicted way back in 2004, and Judge Anne Christine Masulo ruled that the juror in question acted not out of wrongdoing, but out of emotion brought on by the proceeding. So if that's not misconduct, what is it?
What?
Anyway, Peterson's attorney called the ruling disappointing, which attorneys always do, which behind the scenes they're saying this is the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened. I can't believe this. But anyway, we got in to say, we're very disappointed. So just in the last few months, we've obviously heard new information that will prove Mr. Scott Peterson did not murder his wife, Lacey, and they are going to continue to push forward until he is a free man. Now, as for the ruling, the judge...
I'm not sure, Kid Kitty. I don't know, because they still have it under security 24 hours a day, too. I'm not sure. Because you would think that the owner of the property would be getting all this stuff ready to, be rented again with school coming back. I don't know. It's a good question.
Does concede that juror number 7 committed misconduct, but excuses that misconduct by writing that her background, her contentious relationship with her boyfriend, and her frequent memory lapses are all excuses for her misconduct. Needless to say, the defense disagrees. Attorneys for Mr. Peterson said the juror, a woman by the name of Rochelle Nice, was actively biased against Mr. Peterson, lied on her juror questionnaire to gain access to being a juror on the trial. And the prosecution, however, argued that she had merely made errors answering some of the 163 questions on the 23-page document. Remember, this happened in the Ghislaine Maxwell case as well, and everybody just dismissed it, poo-pooed it. Oh, no big deal. Really? You're a juror on a homicide case. Let's face it, for most people, this is the most exciting event that's ever taken place in your life. And you didn't answer it truthfully. You didn't take the time to go through and make sure your answers are correct. And oh, by the way, they ask you under oath to fill this stuff out. Your answers are under oath, under the pains and penalties of perjury. So the prosecution said, hey, she's inconsistent on her answers. So what? But being wrong doesn't necessarily make it false or make her a liar. It just might be that she's having really bad time filling out some forms. Nice. Said that she had no bias against Mr. Peterson until she heard the evidence against him at trial. And then she convicted him. For those who aren't familiar with this case, because a lot of our viewers are young, but Laci Peterson disappeared at age 27 on Christmas Eve back in 2002 when she was 8 months pregnant with the couple's son, and they had been married for a whole 5 years. And days after Laci vanished, her mutilated body washed up on the shore of the San Francisco Bay. Prosecutors alleged that Peterson wanted to escape married life and did not want the responsibility of becoming a father. So he then killed Laci and their unborn son. He then dumped the body and that of the baby that she was carrying from his boat. Peterson was initially sentenced to death, but that sentence was overturned back in November of 2020. He still maintains his innocence, and some of his relatives, like his brother's wife, support him to the bitter end. One of his family members said back in November, when his sentence was overturned, we still need justice for Laci, Connor, and Scott, because he's obviously the victim of this entire thing. I mean, I don't know. The jury has spoken. Anyway, we don't have justice for Laci and Scott on death row because Scott is innocent. Well, I don't think that's exactly what he's looking for, but I think that's as good as it's going to get. Of course, the defense will appeal that decision and see what the appellate courts say in regards to juror misconduct. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Jurors need to be honest. That's the whole process of voir dire. That's the French term that means to speak the truth. How are people supposed to decide if you're a good juror for that particular case if you're holding information back, like the juror in the Scott Peterson case? Miss Nice, what did she say? Oh, I just couldn't remember that domestic violence case going on. Oh,
yeah, the juror.
Bygones. I mean, this case doesn't bring back any of those memories. I can't believe the judge came to the decision she did. She
I wish my
just
mic
doesn't
would
want
have
to go
came
back
with
and try
that.
the case. So
Thanks.
whether he's innocent or guilty, I don't know. Kind of seems like maybe he didn't get a fair trial. Let me know in the comments below. Next, Sam Bankman-Fried.
All right, I don't know. That's just something I don't really. Let me see here. What do we got next? Investigators. Okay, so this is an hour ago.
In Idaho, investigators entering the holiday weekend with no new leads in the case of four murdered college students, and tips from the public helped them track down an abandoned Hyundai Elantra, but investigators ultimately determined the car is not related to the murders. Now, nearly 6 weeks since the brutal stabbings, the case is in a critical stage. News Nation's Alex Capriello live for us in Moscow. Alex, what are we learning today?
Natasha, good evening to you. Yeah, this appeared to be one of the most significant breakthroughs in this case that's now lasted over a month, the quadruple homicide that occurred in this house right here behind me. But Moscow police have ruled out the possibility that Hyundai Elantra that was found in Eugene, Oregon, is connected to this case in any way. Even still, we're investigating what we do know, like the type of knife believed to be used during this quadruple homicide and just how easy it is to get in Idaho.
Moscow police say this white Hyundai Elantra, located in Eugene, Oregon, is not related to the case. The car matching the description of a vehicle that police have spent weeks looking for. It belongs to a woman out of Colorado with no connections to the murders. The police are now asking the public to stop contacting the owner, which means detectives are back to square one.
People are
sorting through more
contacting
than
the owner?
7,500 emailed tips, more than 4,000 phone tips, and more than 4,500 digital media submissions, all related to the information they have put out publicly. A white car, an approximate time of the murders, and the suspected weapon, a fixed blade knife.
Good evening, Silky.
Switches out all the blades. Turns out, hunting culture and owning knives is incredibly common in Idaho. Whether it's a hard...
Well, yeah, there are a lot of hunters up there. Good evening, Silky. And she has a new video out today if you haven't checked it out yet. How's your evening going, Silky? Kaboom. I got a Christmas stocking up now. I had to move my setup because of how all this cold weather that's coming. I couldn't be by a window. No way.
hardware store, a sporting
Hell, I'm cold right where I'm at.
goods store, or an antique shop, you can find a fixed blade anywhere, and you don't even need to be 18 to purchase.
Knives, no, you can buy knives anywhere.
Living the dream.
Nobody questions
Right?
that.
The store owners and employees
Isn't that all of us living that damn dream? You know it. Great response.
I spoke to say they don't pay attention to who buys or think twice about their intentions. They don't discriminate or ask what they plan to use the weapon for. But after these murders, they say they may put more thought into it before selling.
So this is something you start to think twice about, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, Well, and, there's a couple things around that I think, I hope nobody picks that up and comes this way.
What?
And it's important to note that everyone that I spoke to today, I'm talking about everyone, has turned over their information, their video surveillance to the police. They want to see this brought to an end just as much as anyone out there in the country that's been paying attention to this story. And even still, Moscow police have not named any sort of suspect or persons of interest at this point. Natasha.
And Alex, can you tell us a little bit about how the town actually is now that students are gone for winter break?
Right, this is a town of approximately 25,000, and I would say the bulk of it is the University of Idaho. So
and winter
when
break.
winter break comes, it sort of becomes a bit of a ghost town. It's definitely feels like that at this point. You walk down Main Street, that's cuts right through the middle of downtown, and there's very few people walking around. But even still, there's sort of this somberness that's lingering in the air. When I ask many of these store owners, the employees, they just want to see it come to an end because it just feels like there's this heavy weight that's on everyone's chest at this point. So while certainly things have died down in the town center, I think everyone is looking forward to students coming back and maybe feeling that sense of rejuvenation again. And hopefully, of course, the most important thing is bringing this case to a close and finding some justice for these families.
Certainly. Alex Campriello, live for us in Moscow. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your...
That lady's like, I'm going to start thinking about if we need to sell some of these things. What the hell? It's a freaking... Those are the stores that you can find little treasures for a couple bucks, and they come in handy. It's something that you can't find anymore, Will be made into a movie. All right, we know it's not connected, so we don't need to watch a bunch of videos about it. Sexual assault, huh? Let me play this real quick, then we'll go to the next one.
The man accused of killing a 7-year-old Wise County girl today facing new charges that, in fact, were filed just today. This is 31-year-old Tanner Horner. He's been charged, of course, with 3 counts of sexual assault of a child. That came today, but all indications are that these charges are not related to Athena Strand. They appear to have been filed in Tarrant County related to an offense dating back to 2013. Horner currently facing aggravated kidnapping and capital murder charges.
Oh, wow. So he's... So it must be regarding that one female that's been doing, posting for all these years. Someone said they heard hoodie guys say they're going to get you for this on video when the three were on video. Huh? That's interesting, Kib Kitty. This is going to be made into a movie, huh?
The story of an Alabama security guard who ran off with an inmate to Evansville is being made into a movie.
Vicky White's tragic relationship with the convicted murderer Casey White will be told in a movie on the streaming site called Tubi. The Tubi will run for 11 days earlier this year.
We brought you that story. It's not a happy story. Police say Vicky took her own life in Evansville. Casey is back behind bars.
Wow. Ain't that crazy?
The story of an Alabama security guard who ran off with an inmate to Evansville is being made into a movie.
Oh my
Vicky
gosh.
White's tragic.
I didn't get it in time because it was so quick. Okay, so someone said they heard hoodie guys say they're going to get you for this on video when the three were on video. When Kaylee said Maddie. Really? So was that after? Was that a sound clip after? They said Adam is being investigated right now and that he's cooperating is what they're saying. Huh. Shit, I scrolled down too far. Okay, wow, that's going to be made into a movie. That's interesting. I'm going to have to keep that up there. I have Tubi also, so maybe we can watch it. Indiana mall shooting. Greenwood Mall. Yeah, I wanted to hear what this was about. This is that little girl I was talking about. Madalena?
Right now at 4:30, new court records show the mother of 11-year-old Madalena Kojikari believed her husband was putting the family in danger. Madalena was last seen at the end of November.
What?
Her mother and stepfather reported her missing. 11-year-old Madalena Kojikari believed her husband was putting the family in danger. Madalena was last seen at the end of November. Her mother and stepfather reported her missing 3 weeks later.
Thank you,
court
Kip Kitty.
documents obtained by Queen City News, the girl's backpack and some clothing were also missing from her room. The girl's mother and stepfather are both in jail, charged with failing to report the girl missing.
Hold on.
11-year-old Madalena Kojikari believed her husband was putting the family in danger. Madalena was last seen at the end of...
Believed her husband was putting the family in danger. What? What?
November. Her mother and
Running off with one of my inmates. Oh, Silky. It never ends good. You know what I mean? It's just like when you run, it's worse.
Right now at 4:30, new court records show the mother of 11-year-old Madalena Kojikari believed her husband was putting the family in danger. Madalena was last seen at the end of November. Her mother and stepfather reported her missing 3 weeks later. According to court documents obtained by Queen City News, the girl's backpack and some clothing were also missing from her room. The girl's mother and stepfather are both in jail, charged with failing to report the girl missing.
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks or something.
We're joined now by retired FBI Special Agent Michael Tabman to help us better understand these types of investigations. Sir, thanks so much for joining us.
Sure, thank you for having me.
All right, so in your experience, what...
Cornelius, North Carolina, I think is where it's at.
What kind of techniques or strategies can agents start to use when we have two parents here who aren't being very cooperative with investigators and who kind of seem to be at odds with each other? What can agents do to try and get information out of them?
Right. The first goal is find the child and hopefully find the child alive. In my experience, both as a police officer and as an FBI agent, when we have parents who have not timely reported a missing child, that's usually a very bad sign, though you remain hopeful. But it's not a good sign when parents haven't been the first people to report them missing. So the first goal is, where is that child? So the best source of information, of course, it would be the parents, one would hope. What can they tell us, especially if they are complicit in the disappearance? So if you have two people who are not cooperative and maybe at odds with each other, you have almost the prisoner's dilemma that you may have heard of. What should I do? So they'll approach each one of them and say, all right, you're not involved, though the husband is or your wife is, but you need to tell us now, because anything we find that you may have known about it, be complicit in, you too will be charged. So now is the time to cooperate. So we have that advantage there, the prisoner's dilemma, trying to get them to cooperate in their own best interest to find out where the child is. The other way is just to play them against each other. Tell them the other one's going to cooperate, you're going to get screwed. Tell us where it is, we'll work a deal out now. Tell us where the child is. Tell us what happened. The other thing that they always offer is a polygraph. And you'll always hear about that. And often they will refuse to get polygraphed in these situations, and then they comply because they feel by complying, they want the eye of suspicion off them, if not by law enforcement, by the media and by their friends and family. And then if they pass it, they say, look, I passed. If they fail it, they'll have an excuse for that. But the polygraph, though it can't be used in court, is a very strong investigative tool for law enforcement to help them focus their investigation on a person or another fact.
Right, and they can use all the help they can get because, again, those parents didn't report Madalena missing until 3 weeks after they last saw her, so they're already kind of behind the 8 ball there. And so when it comes to kind of trying to catch up, what do cell phone records and electronic communications tell us about, or at least give us a lead, or investigators a lead in a case like this?
Cell phone records, electronic records, emails have become the crux of investigations in modern times. There's hardly a case I can imagine where we're not going to go electronic communications, via a search warrant or their permission. In the case of a missing child, we'll absolutely get a warrant. They've probably gotten one already. And what they're looking for are phone numbers that might be involved in maybe contacting somebody to bring the child to, or maybe someone who's been involved in, we would hope not, child sex trafficking. That's unlikely, but it's possible. But if the parents haven't been involved in that or don't run those circles, that's not likely.
You brought up trafficking here. In these situations, how closely do investigators consider trafficking in this sense? Because the stepfather in this case traveled to Michigan, and the Midwest, of course, is a big crossroads for human trafficking. How often is that a likelihood of being something that actually happened to a missing child?
Well, it's certainly possible and depends on the circumstances. I don't think that this would be high on their list of possibilities. Certainly there, it could have happened. But again, if the parents have not had any experience in this, they're not running with people who have been involved in this, it'd be kind of difficult for this man to wake up one day saying, I'm going to traffic my daughter, start asking around and not get caught. The best solution I could give on that would be someone who decides to hire a hitman to kill their spouse. You hear about this all the time. Well, they don't know any hitman, so they start asking around, and ultimately they wind up speaking to an undercover agent on the other side of the phone because there's not that many people willing to help them in that regard. So unless you're in those circles and you start asking around about selling your daughter to the sex trade, there's a good chance you're going to get discovered. Still a possibility. I think they're more looking probably at the aspect of a homicide here, an accidental death, that they just now trying to hide based on them not reporting it for a long period of time.
Yeah, and that is certainly an outcome that the community is hoping doesn't come to fruition, just hoping to find Madalena Kojakar. Thank you so much, retired Special Agent Michael Tapman.
I mean, he didn't say, good evening, Phantom. How are you? That guy really didn't say too much, really. I thought they were going to talk more about the events that took place so far. Maybe this Law and Crime minute and 40-second video will. I'm not really familiar with this. I think this is the first show I'm playing these. I don't think I've played anything before. Or maybe I had something saved.
New video shows missing 11-year-old Madalina Koljakari on the school bus just 2 days before she was last.
So she must have been reported. Reported her missing on December 15th. Huh. So December 15th, so it's not even been a week.
Last seen.
I am home and have a drink in front of me. Nice.
Video shows the girl walking toward the front of
You know anything about this, Phantom? About this case?
the bus, pausing, and then walking out of frame. Investigators released this footage on Tuesday, nearly 1 month after Madalina was last seen in Cornelius, North Carolina. The newly released school bus video marks the last time authorities can definitively confirm where she was last seen. Investigators say the girl was reported missing less than a week ago, on December 15th, despite having not been seen for more than 3 weeks prior.
Wow.
When Madalina's school attempted to contact her parents in early December, her mother, Diana Koljakari, told them she last saw her daughter on November 23rd when she was put to bed. The next day, she noticed Madalina was not in her room. Diana Koljakari told officials she fought with her husband, Christopher Palmeter, the last night her daughter was seen, and did not report her missing because it could have started a conflict between her and her husband. Palmeter told investigators he made a trip to Michigan on November 23rd and had last seen his stepdaughter a week prior. Both Diana Koljakari and Palmeter were arrested on December 17th for not reporting the 11-year-old's disappearance to law enforcement. Both now face bond of more than $200,000 as prosecutors say they hindered the investigation. The Cornelius Police Department, FBI, and State Bureau of Investigation are all searching for Madalina. Anyone with more information about her whereabouts is asked to contact the Cornelius Police Department. Reporting for Long Crime Network, I'm Cecil. She fought with her husband, Christopher Palmeter, the last night her daughter was seen, and did not report her missing because it could have started a conflict between her and her husband. Palmeter told investigators he made a trip to Michigan on November 23rd.
The same day the mom said that she last seen her. What the fuck? So from North Carolina to Michigan. Wow. And she didn't, and the mom didn't report her missing because she didn't want to start a conflict with the dude. This is the same day. I'm going to watch this again. This is the same day. I need to see what the mom said again. At this moment in my life, I like rum. Rum. I like rum. You should have some Hennessy. That's good stuff. And Coke? Try Sprite. If it ever seems a little heavy on the stomach, mix it with some Sprite sometime.
On the school bus just 2 days before she was last seen. Video shows the girl walking toward the front of the bus, pausing, and then walking out of frame. Investigators released this footage on Tuesday, nearly 1 month after Madalina was last seen in Cornelius, North Carolina. The newly released school bus video marks the last time authorities can definitively confirm where she was last seen. Investigators say the girl was reported missing less than a week ago, on December 15th, despite having not been seen for more than 3 weeks prior. When Madalina's school attempted to contact her parents in early December, her mother, Diana Koljakari, told them she last saw her daughter on November 23rd when she was put to bed. The next day, she noticed Madalina was not in her room. Diana Koljakari told officials she fought with her husband, Christopher Palmeter, the last night her daughter was seen, and did not report her missing because it could have started a conflict between her and her husband. Palmeter told investigators he made a trip to Michigan on November 23rd and had last seen his stepdaughter a week prior. Both Diana Jakari and Paul Meter were arrested on December 17th for not reporting the 11-year-old's disappearance to law enforcement. Both now face bond of more than $2 as prosecutors say they hindered the investigation. The Cornelius Police Department, FBI, and State Bureau of Investigation are all searching for Madalena. Anyone with more information about her whereabouts is asked to contact the Cornelius Police Department. Reporting for Long Crime Network, I'm
going to look up something real quick here. I just put in Detroit. Wow. You got this route, that route, that. I mean, and all these go through mountain areas and shit. I don't know. That don't sound too damn good. He goes to Michigan. That's what he said. But if he's got cell phone pings and all that, I'm sure it'll show, you know. Wow. And it's been 3 weeks, so... I would hate to imagine what I'm thinking. That don't sound very good. The same day that the mom says she last seen her, but who says that that really is the last day, but he said he went on a trip to Michigan. That's not good. That's not good at all. That was a good video there. Rip for odd plea to save planet. Richard Allard didn't come forward. Huh. Let me watch this one since we're on the same topic here. Yeah, very suspicious. I mean, I'm with what I'm thinking. It's not. That's a lot of area.
Another new development in the case of that missing 11-year-old girl from Cornelius. New court documents out today say that the mother of Madalena Kojikari believed that her husband was putting her family in danger. Queen City News anchor Derek Dellinger has been following the latest developments on this all week. He's live in Cornelius with that update. And Derek, did she say why she thought that?
No, she did not. In fact, the court documents for the stepfather, Christopher Palmer, as well as Diana Kojikari, they are remarkably similar to one another. But the mother, Diana Kojikari, her arrest had details we had not really known before. In fact, she did say to police that she thought Palmer specifically had put her family in danger. Did not really go into specifics on that, though. She also says that a backpack and some clothes belonging to Madalena were also in the house. Now, her mother says that there was almost zero chance she was staying with a friend and her family was out of the country. In fact, Diana Kojikari says she's from Moldova, and after Madalena went missing, she says she spoke with her family overseas, and they even urged her to contact police, but as the court documents state, she hesitated. You may remember Diana Kojikari had her appearance yesterday morning specifically on charges of failing to file a report on the disappearance of a child, the same charge her husband is facing. All the while, there is still no sign of Madalena. The investigation and search, though, does continue, and while that's happening, both Christopher Palmer and Diana Kojikari are still in jail. In the meantime, Cornelius police just in the last hours So they have tweeted out saying that they are still actively searching for Madalena. There is still no sign of her just yet. If you have any information, they are urging you to come forward. We'll have more on this coming up later on today on Queen City News at 4. For now, we're live in.
I don't know. Don't sound like much. Wow, that don't sound good at all. This is 8 hours ago. Whoops, what did I just do? Here, what? I don't know. She didn't want to upset him. I don't know. It sounds to me.
Breaking just.
I don't know much, but it sounds to me like mom and stepdad got into a fight. From what the mom's saying, he got angry, took the girl. Probably.
Breaking just into the W.
Just my, I don't know. I don't know much, but just what I'm following here so far is it seems like he took the girl. Who knows what happened between North Carolina and Michigan. And then came back, and she didn't want to report her missing because she's probably afraid he was gonna. There's probably a lot of violence there.
You see in Charlotte newsroom.
Still no excuse, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out.
Documents revealing more details about 11-year-old Madalena Kocikari's disappearance. According to documents obtained this morning, Madalena's mother, Diana Kocikari, contacted her family in the European country of Moldova about Madalena's disappearance. They reportedly advised her to call police, but she still hesitated to call, telling police she believed her husband put the family in danger. Madalena's mother also allegedly told police some of her daughter's clothes and backpack were missing from her room. The documents also revealed detectives visited the family home and found an area in the kitchen blocked off with plywood. When questioned, Madalena's stepfather allegedly told officers he planned to build a separate apartment inside the home. All this as investigators release new video showing the last time they can confirm she was seen. It shows Madalena getting off Bailey Middle School bus just before 5 p.m. on November 21st. Investigators hoping any potential witnesses can come forward to help them piece together some sort of timeline.
What? That is weird. That is really weird that he put the family in danger. It put me at the top again. That he put the family in danger. What does that mean? Let me see. That's a day ago. Teenage, let's see. Okay, we already know about the white Hyundai. Yeah, we watched about this the other day. I want to see what they got. What's the update on that one? Law and crime. Yeah, I noticed that on the right. Yeah, I noticed that too, Kid Kitty. I was like, that's interesting.
Well, a teenager in Michigan says that she had to deal with cyberbullying for more than a year, and police have discovered it was her mother who was allegedly behind it.
What?
All. Authorities say Kendra Gale Licari sent her own daughter mean, harassing, and hateful messages through text and social media. Police say she sent the anonymous messages to both her daughter and her daughter's then boyfriend. When her daughter came to her for help, Licari allegedly told the police about the harassment, but tried to make it seem like it was coming from her daughter's peers. Police say there were several hundred text messages
What?
and thousands of pages of discovery. Licari, who coached basketball for the local school district, was let out of jail on a $5,000 bond. Her charges include stalking of a minor and using a computer to commit a crime.
What?
Officials haven't identified a motive. Well, another parent raising eyebrows right now is the father of Robert Cremo III.
Hold on one
Had to deal
second.
with cyberbullying
Who?
for more than a year, and police have discovered it was her mother who was allegedly behind it all.
What was her name?
Authorities say Kendra Gale Licari.
Kendra Gale Licari. If that's even how you spell it.
Sent her
Huh.
own daughter mean, harassing,
Wow.
hateful messages through text and social media. The school district was let out of jail on a $5,000 bond. Her charges include stalking of a minor and using a computer to commit a crime.
Yeah, no kidding,
Officials
fan.
haven't
I'm like,
identified a motive.
they already go through
Well,
enough.
Another parent raising eyebrows right now is the father of Robert Cremo III. Police say Cremo gunned down people watching a 4th of July parade in a Chicago suburb. Charges were filed against Robert Cremo Jr. for allegedly helping his son to get a license to legally own firearms. In Illinois, you have to be older than 21 to get a firearm owner's identification card. Someone younger can get one if a guardian sponsors them. Cremo has admitted to helping his son get the card and told the Chicago news station that he doesn't regret it. 7 people died in the parade attack.
Wow.
Police say Cremo aided in the crime by helping his son get the weapon that he used. They also say Cremo was aware that his son could be dangerous after multiple violent or dangerous incidents.
Wow.
Cremo was charged with 7 counts.
And then
of
he goes
reckless
and gets
conduct.
it anyway.
Now, the Cremo case is very similar to the Crumbly case out in nearby Michigan. There, parents Jennifer and James Crumbly are charged with involuntary manslaughter. Their son shot up a school last year, killing 4 students. He pleaded guilty earlier this year. But the prosecution says the Crumbleys knew their son had mental health issues, but ignored that and bought him a gun.
Wow.
Right now, an appeals court is set to determine if the couple can get bail or not. Brian, these are some really wild cases, and I don't have to say how controversial they are, but how much responsibility does a parent really have, legally speaking?
That's the million-dollar question here. Now, first,
Yeah,
let's
this
start
is
with, Cremo.
very relevant
Each
right
of the
now.
felony reckless conduct charges, he could face 1 to 3 years on each of those charges. Prosecutors are basically saying he was so careless in buying his son a gun that a reasonable person in that situation would not have done so.
Right.
First, like you said, as the Crumbly parents, now as Cremo Jr., the question that is raising now is what red flags and how many of them lead to a mass shooting, and what responsibility do parents have when it comes to buying firearms for their children? Now, cases like this are controversial, how much blame a parent should take, but catfishing your child and their boyfriend, this is what I've never seen before. Licari is presumed innocent, but the facts don't look good. I get tough love, but demeaning, demoralizing, and mean texts to your child for over a year. What was this woman thinking? She's looking at 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, Terry, okay, you don't need to prove a motive.
She's gonna go to jail for 2 to 3 years.
Stalking your own child.
You know, I just don't understand this, except maybe she's trying to change the child's behavior. Obviously, that's not an excuse. And this is something that can easily be proved through forensic evidence. They're going to take the computer, they're going to look at what was written, and they're going to trace it right back to the mother.
Wow.
And the worst part of all of this is the fact that their relationship will never, ever be the same. The daughter is not going to trust her mother. And who knows why the daughter and the boyfriend broke up, but I am sure it had something to do with this bullying by the mother. It makes no sense at all. I think that she probably should seek some help psychologically, because when you do something like that to someone who you're supposed to be protecting, she went to her mother for protection, and obviously it didn't work.
Yeah, that's damn truth. That's crazy. Why would you do that if you were, I don't know. Let's see here. Silky Southern Teas got a new video out there. Delphi. Let's see. We already know about Hyundai. This is from a day ago. Let's see here. Does Adam figure into this crime? Let's see what Bed Crime Stories has to say about that. There's the channel. See what she says.
talk about the latest mystery person to have his name brought up in the case of the 4 slain University of Idaho students. By latest mystery person, I'm referring to Adam. His name came up in the new surveillance footage we have of Kaylee, Maddie, and the guy I call Hoodie Guy, or Jack S. This surveillance footage is from Sunday, November 13th, 2022. Prior to the footage we saw of this trio hanging out at the grub truck on Main Street in Moscow, Idaho. So this new footage shows the trio walking from the Corner Club bar where Kaylee and Maddie were partying that night, and where Jack S. is rumored to have been kicked out of due to allegedly treating females in the bar in some creepy fashion. In this new footage, we see Kaylee, Maddie, and Jack S. walking together. What's immediately clear is that Jack S. is walking with the 2 women. He's not trailing them, nor does he appear to be stalking them. The footage shows the girls walking next to him, as if they're okay with his presence, so there's no sense of aggression in this new footage. In the audio, we hear Kaylee asking her best friend Maddie about what she told a guy named Adam. Note that Adam's last name begins with an L, but I'm not going to say it because I don't know if he is in any way involved in the crime. Thus, I'm going to refer to him as Adam L. Here's what we know so far about Adam L. First off,
Wow. Okay, something makes sense. I watched a video earlier and it kept referring to this L person and I didn't know who the fuck it was. So while we're watching this, I'm going to look into my library and see if I can find that video. It's probably just made up like some of this other shit that's came out, but I don't know. Let me check out this person's channel real quick while we watch this. That's interesting.
He's 6 feet 5 inches tall. That is incredibly tall. Next, we know that he's a bartender at the Corner Club bar where Kaylee and Maddie spent from about 11 p.m. Saturday, November 12th, until about 1:30 a.m. Sunday morning. Adam L. is also a friend of Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, Jack D. They are Facebook friends. Adam L. is also Facebook friends with Kaylee, Maddie, and Maddie's boyfriend, Jake S. It appears as well that Adam L. and Jack D. were, at least for a period, roommates. There's a TikTok video floating around of Adam in a house with Kaylee and Jack D's shared dog, Murphy. I'll play that TikTok at the end of this video in case you haven't seen it. By the way, Adam L. and Jack D's shared residence is about a 30-second walk from Kaylee and Maddie's off-campus rental home on King Road, the house where the vicious crime occurred. So Jack D, had he answered his phone during one of the 10 times that Kaylee's and Maddie's phone dialed him on the morning of the crime, he could have been over to their rental house before 3 a.m. That could have been either to help them calling because maybe they heard or saw someone outside the house and were afraid, or if Jack D is found to be the perpetrator to commit the crime. I'm not accusing him, by the way. I just want to emphasize how close he lives to the house. Back to Adam. That audio we hear where his name is brought up by Kaylee. Take a listen as Kaylee asks Maddie the question, "Maddie, what did you tell Adam?" And Maddie responds with, "I told him everything." I believe this conversation is an important element of the night's timeline. It may be of no consequence in terms of the crime, or it may be of absolute consequence. We simply don't know that yet. This additional surveillance footage makes it seem as if Kaylee is irritated with Maddie. When she asks Maddie what she told Adam, the bartender, Kaylee's voice sounds high-pitched. I get the feeling that Kaylee is perhaps miffed about whatever conversation occurred. Maddie's response, "I told him everything," hints at Maddie revealing the whole lot of something that perhaps Kaylee didn't want shared. I'm speculating, but it's coming mostly from Kaylee's slightly irritated tone. Take a listen. Did you hear that? Kaylee asks, "Maddie, what did you tell Adam?" And Maddie responds, "I told him everything." Let me play it for you again. Now, clearly, Kaylee and Maddie spent time on Saturday night into Sunday morning talking to Adam L. while they were at the Corner Club bar. We know that because Maddie tells Kaylee she told Adam everything. Is it possible that whatever Maddie told Adam then in turn told Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, Jack D? Did whatever this everything was about upset Jack D, set him off? This is just me speculating, by the way. And was Jack D in Moscow that night sleeping, or was he in Boise? I have yet to hear the police confirm that one way or another. I looked up the hours of the Corner Club bar, and on Saturdays and Sundays, they're open until 2 a.m. It sounds like Kaylee and Maddie left the bar around 1:30 a.m. As a bartender, Adam would likely need to stay a little past the closing hour to clean out the cash register, maybe help tidy the place up, take the garbage out, or whatever bartenders are responsible for doing after closing. Is it possible Adam got out of work by perhaps 2:15 to 2:30 a.m. and then drove home to that apartment that he shared with Jack D? That ride from the Corner Club bar to the neighborhood would take about 12 minutes in moderate traffic, less time if the roads were empty. Could Adam have gotten home perhaps between, say, 2:30 a.m. and 2:45 a.m.? And could he have passed on whatever Maddie told him to Jack D? Could this have pushed Jack D over the edge? Pure speculation again, but I'm just wondering. Kaylee's father was not exactly warm and fuzzy to Jack D at the memorial ceremony when they were up at the podium. Mr. Gonsalves basically walks away from Jack D while Jack D is hugging Kaylee's mother, Christy. And the look Mr. Gonsalves shoots toward Jack D in that moment is one of those if looks could kill type. What was that about? Does Mr. Gonsalves know something about Jack D that we don't? Did he learn something about Jack D over the course of the past month that maybe he doesn't like him as much as he did previously? Jack D and Kaylee dated somewhere between 5 to 6 years, and per Kaylee's mother, Christy, Kaylee broke up with Jack D because she wanted to take a break. That makes it sound like it wasn't Jack D's preference. Kaylee also had a job lined up in Austin, Texas, which is where she was planning on moving very shortly. I heard, but this would be unverified information, that she was planning to take her and Jack's dog, Murphy, with her to Texas. I would imagine that would be more salt in the wounds for Jack D. It appears that he loves that dog as much as Kaylee clearly did. We also know that Jack D followed Kaylee on Instagram, but Kaylee did not follow Jack D back. All of these details point to...
I thought that was all weird from the beginning too,
to Kaylee being good with the breakup, and Jack D possibly wanting to keep a connection to his ex-girlfriend. Back to the night of the crime, Kaylee and Maddie's phones were repeat dialing Jack D right before this crime went down. The last of the 10 calls to Jack D was at 2:52 a.m. Did Kaylee want to talk to Jack D because she maybe knew he would be upset about whatever Maddie told Adam. Kaylee didn't seem overly thrilled with Maddie's reply that she told Adam everything. Did Jack head over to 1122 King Road because he was angry? Did he finally crack? We don't know. But Jack D is someone who would have motive if he indeed was upset about the breakup. Pure speculation, though. Christy Gonsalves, Kaylee's mother, and her sister Olivia keep saying what a nice, sweet guy he is, so it's hard to know. Another event in the timeline now are the sounds of a female shouting, "Stop it! Stop!" This can be heard on the police cam footage from the 2 undercover officers on Band Field outside the Sigma Chi fraternity house when they were citing the 3 young men for underage drinking. Chris McDonough of the interview room paid to get the enhanced audio from the Moscow Police Department. He played it on one of his most recent videos, and you can clearly hear a female saying, "Stop it, stop," at exactly 2:55 a.m. and 16 seconds. That would be 3 minutes and 16 seconds after both Kaylee's phone and Maddie's phone dialed up Jack D. Take a listen.
18, 19, yep.
Wow.
Did you hear that? Stop it! Stop! I'll play it again.
18, 19, yep.
Wow.
The female voice shouting, "Stop it! Stop!" may be originating from the slain student's house at 1122 King Road. That is the direction the police camera was facing in when that audio was recorded. Or it may be originating from another person or home in that area. We don't know. But I find it very intriguing that Kaylee and Maddie stopped calling Jack D at 2:52 a.m. and 3 minutes later, a female is heard shouting, "Stop it, stop." Either Kaylee and Maddie gave up and turned the light out to go to bed, which could have signaled to someone outside in the backyard near that tree line who was watching that it was time to attack, or something happened right after that mark.
This
to
is a
stop
good video
Kaylee and
here.
Maddie from calling Jack D again. A female shouting, "Stop it, stop," at 2:55 a.m. when we know the slain students are believed to have been attacked between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. seems very suspicious. Is this just a coincidence, or is this shouting related to the crime? Are there coincidences when you have such a tight timeline in a crime like this? But how does that white Elantra then figure into the crime? Whose car was that? Who was driving it? The police seem pretty certain that the occupant of that car knows something or saw something. Could that car in some way
There's a
be
link to this
associated
video
with
here.
Jack D and Adam L? We've heard some creators saying that a white car was seen parked at the residence that Jack and Adam shared, and that white car might be an Elantra and might belong to Adam L. However, no one's been able to confirm any of that so far. I've reached out to Adam L. to see if he wants to proactively shut that down. I asked him simply to let me know if he drives a white Elantra, and I'm hoping he gets back to me, because if he doesn't, that would help just tap down additional speculation that this case doesn't need. I have to say that you'd think that if Adam L. drove a white Elantra and the Moscow police have known about this video all this time, that they could tell everybody in Moscow, "You can stop looking for that
Well, that's a
Elantra.
weird
We
edit.
found it." Just saying. Okay, I hope this gives you some food for thought.
Wow, what a good video. Definitely like that. Holy crap. I'm gonna keep that one for the rotation. That had some good stuff in it, and I never did hear that in the body cam. That's interesting. This is the lawyer here. Believes the community will help solve the case. I hope so.
You hear it all the time. There is no detail too small in a murder investigation, and you can multiply that by 4 in the Idaho. But one detail that has just surfaced is 17 seconds long, and it is anything but small. It's new surveillance video of Kaylee Gonzalez and Maddie Mogan on the night that they were murdered, and the video was captured at 1:30 in the morning. They're on their way to the now infamous food truck after spending the evening at a corner club bar. That's the corner club, famous in downtown Moscow. The surveillance cameras at a local business captured the video of the girls as they made their way down the sidewalk towards the food truck from the bar. Take a look at a map. You can see exactly where they had been at the corner club, 10:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m., and where they were going to the grub truck, 1:40 a.m., and where this camera captured the images on Main Street. It even captured what the girls were saying, and you can hear it clear as a bell. Let's listen.
What did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything.
Did you hear that? Kaylee yells to Maddie, "What did you say to Adam?" And Maddie answers, "Like I told Adam everything." So here it is again. You can clearly hear that exchange between the two girls.
What did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything.
But the $64,000 question is, who is Adam? And it's a good question. And another good question, who on earth was the hooded man walking down the sidewalk with the girls in that video? There is an uncanny resemblance to the hooded man who was standing behind the girls at the food truck the whole time that they were there, like plus 10 minutes. And the man that police said they cleared early on. Joining me now is Shannon Gray. He is the attorney representing the family of Kaylee Gonzalez. Mr. Gray, thank you so much for being here. So let's start with Adam. Who exactly is Adam? And has Adam been helpful at all in this investigation?
It's my understanding that Adam is just the bartender at the corner bar that they were referring to. I think it was just conversation they were having between the two of them. I don't think he's involved in the investigation at all, though. So.
But wouldn't he? I mean, you've done so much investigative work, and you've been a prosecutor and a defense attorney in murder cases, so you know how it works. And I would imagine that anybody who saw these girls in the hours before they died might be able to at least say who was in the bar, whether they witnessed anything unusual. What was it when they said, "I told Adam everything"? Do you have any idea what that meant? Was that something Adam could enlighten everybody to?
I have no idea. I can't speak to that conversation. I would hope that the Moscow Police Department would follow up with this video and some of the statements that were made in it. So that's what we're having faith that they followed up on the video. So
yeah. Amen to that. What about the notion that there's a lot of sort of people triangulating social media? As you know, there's cyber sleuths who sometimes wreak havoc, but sometimes really provide some pretty good investigative help to police. And there is some connection between Adam
play something after we
and
finish
Kaylee's
this
ex-boyfriend. There's pictures of them. I think on TikTok, there's a picture of Adam with Kaylee's dog. So they clearly have a close friendship. Do you know anything about
that's what I was hearing too.
Adam and Kaylee's ex-boyfriend?
Hey, Kib Kitty, can you put in chat what you put in the beginning of the show about what Adam was, she said something about some audio after they were asking about if she said something to Adam or something. What was that you put in the beginning of the chat, Kib Kitty? I don't want to misquote what you said.
No, I don't. We don't have any of that information, though. This is stuff. I think people are just, doing some digging, and it's part of the investigation process. When you're not getting a lot of information, people start.
I believe it is Adam, the bartender, that is being investigated, but I can't say that for sure. But I believe that's that's the one.
We encourage people to continue to do the things that they need to do and help out the police in the investigation.
All right. So what about the young man in the hoodie who's walking with Kaylee and Matt?
Kib Kitty said something about whoever was walking with him, hoodie guy, after the questions about what was told to Adam. Then he said something like, "Oh, they're going to get you for this" or something. What was that, Kib Kitty, that you typed?
Down the sidewalk, and who much like the young hooded man who was seemingly lurking in the background but did not appear to be with them in any way at the food truck. does Kaylee's family believe it's the same person? And is there any concern about how early he was cleared in all of this?
Well, we believe it. I mean, looking at the video, we think it's probably the same person. This video appears to be shot right before the food truck. They get to the food truck. So I think they think that it's the same person that was with them at the food truck. In regards to clearing people, I think clearing is one of those words that investigators use as far as they might clear someone and then they might get new additional information and revisit that person somehow down the line. If they've cleared him in this, I'm not sure that they can't revisit any potential suspects that they might have.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation.
All right, I want to play this interesting video. Audio. Yeah. Do you know what channel had that? Okay, I just ran across this, I need to do that with my Cash App. I don't know who this channel is, and this thing just came across, my feed earlier, and I just kind of watched it real quick in between some things, and I was like, holy shit, who is this L? But a couple videos ago, we were watching about Adam L. So I thought this might be kind of interesting. I don't know if it's obviously it can be made up like, some of this other shit that's recently came out, but it's just kind of interesting, what it says or what's typed or whatever. So here's the channel.
Okay, let's jump right into these posts that were posted online on December 12th about the Idaho student murders. Here we go.
So, schizo frat sees something with the D, did this. L, mad skills with lacrosse and knife and wrestling. E, posed no challenge. They already gave their alibis. DNA not in CODIS. They laughing now. Then another one says, bruh, you can see the King Roadhouse from D's SX room. Once that third floor light turned off, they did it. 19 minutes total, walk included. Talked about this shit at Bishop Kelly and SX. L and E got in a fight that night. X allegedly talking shit. They're referring to Ethan and Zaina. L had problems with Mads also, as in Maddie. This shit been brewing since Fall Rush last year. C's went quiet on social media for 2 weeks before and after the deed. B's mom a paralegal, so he knows not to say shit. L cleared his social media. And here's some more information there. SX22 saw E, X, and L and B at the party. L and E have issues. Back to E rushing. E talked shit about L taking roids and having his balls shrivel. L pissed as he wanted X. Like I was thinking, a jealous person in E was, a possible target for dumbass youngins like E. Tutors are assigned. B blew it with E. E a second year fresher. B also self-conscious about his blood and talks empty shit. B and L talked about this shit in general for a while, talked about leaving their cell phones behind and on YouTube autoplay. No pings, no guns, too loud, area dead early Sunday mornings. B even calls out shit media saying T's was target. That shit is false. They're referring to Kaylee. Targets were Ian X and Mads. Mads talked shit about L, never acknowledged B. Mads right about that one, he is a C. L should have also taken out B. And you can read those. Bad luck, well-known fact. High probability some brothers are aware Rogaine has ample opportunities and will play grieving boyfriend. B actually talked about this shit in detail in the past. Wear electrician's gloves, put on baggy clothes after, and walk away. By the way, B's dad works for a professional cleaning company. That shit was disposed of in Garden City over the Thanksgiving holiday. Yeah, that's it. Whoa. Sex bots block. This is from Read Me the News on here. I'll put the link in. Well, here, I'll put the link into the video, and then that'll give you. I have the link to the channel right up above that. So there's the link to this video. Yeah, it was interesting. I was just like, what? Crap. All right, there we go. Did it share? Okay. Yeah, I got booted from StreamYard. So there's the link to the video. Didn't these bots go away? I thought I blocked them. Photo here. Yeah, they're gone. All right. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I was like, that's pretty weird. Okay. Come on, close out. All right, what else we got here? We don't need that. Wait, who was in though? Yeah, I want to hear what they have. I want to hear what Banfield has to say. I like watching her videos.
With Fox Digital, he said this, quote, now they're reaching out and they're going to look to the community to see if this individual borrowed this car. Neither Steve Gonsalves nor the police have explicitly said that
the only thing that I saw was that video that I showed you guys. I was doing something else and it came up on my feed, and I just went ahead and hit play to hear what they were saying. Yeah, I don't know. I did see other videos on there, but I have not checked any of them out or even what the titles were. It was just that one video, but I definitely am gonna check it out because that's some interesting stuff. That has video of what Hoodie Guy says. You just looked.
I don't know exactly what they meant by borrowed, whether they're saying the car was lent to somebody or maybe stolen. But if they find that car, could the digital forensics actually help pinpoint exactly where that was that all night, like where the car ended up being all night? Because that would be huge, right? If they could do that. So I want to bring in John Nakarato. He analyzes crime and justice under the name Johnny Law. He spent 25 years as a crime scene reconstructionist.
Oh, that's cool.
Specializing in blood
It's
spatter.
cool. All these YouTubers are
shootings
on
and
the
cold
news.
cases. He's also a nationally certified traffic crash reconstructionist. This is so great to talk to you because I want to ask you, if they find that car, 2011 to 2013, Johnny, is there even enough digital technology in a vehicle of that era to provide any kind of forensic clues, like the GPS that's sometimes in the engine? Not so much the GPS that's up on the dashboard that we get to use to navigate, but that would tell where the car goes and where it's been.
You know, that year of car, it's kind of on the cutting edge of when the technology started to come out, right? 2006, they started getting GPS and those kind of systems. And so this year of car, this 2011, 2013, you know, even the in-dash systems, you know, most of those weren't installed in the Elantras. You know, the ones that I looked at, it was just a regular AM/FM radio. Some had a satellite button on them. But that's really because they're a location-based service, right? They're there to guide you on where to go, tell you where the restaurants are, the next gas station. They're a service-based. So that's really where the technology would come in.
Okay, if they don't find this car, are they dead in the water here in this investigation? Because it feels like this is all they have.
You know, I don't think so. You know, the forensic evidence is still coming back. I think the forensics is gonna solve this case. What happened on the inside of that house or on the outside, that's really going to help solve this case. Now, if this is a car, this car is definitely a point of interest for law enforcement, right? They've gotten some kind of statement or witness that narrowed this car down to this specific range, right? A 2010 looks way different than a 2011. A 2014 looks a lot different than a 2013. So information to kind of pinpoint this car, they really need to drill down on that and try to find out anything they can on where this car has been. And it's a big task where they have 27,000 cars that are these Elantras, right? But if you start to kind of dive down to the VIN numbers of these cars, you can actually see if this car was made in Korea on a 2013, did it come in the color white? If it didn't come in the color white, then you can start to rule out different things in the VIN numbers.
I am flat out of time, but I want you to come back because you know a lot about this stuff, and I don't think this conversation's over. Johnny Law, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And everybody, thank you.
It's cool. All these YouTubers are ending up on News Nation. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Went through all these already? This is from Unmasked True Crime. We actually watched a video of hers for the first time a couple days ago. And that was a great video. So I wanted to see what this one was here. So here's the link to her channel. It was a good video there. So this is a short one, a 48-second.
Today, reporter Brian Ensign reported that investigators returned to the scene of the horrific murders at 1122 King Road and stayed for about 20 minutes. So why were they there and what does this mean? It appears to me that crime scene analysts, most likely with the FBI, are conducting further testing, possibly collecting more evidence, and possibly doing more blood pattern analysis. As we know, many of the experts have said that we would probably need to wait about 4 to 6 weeks for a lot of the forensics to come back. As we come closer to approaching the 6-week
Let's see. It was a short. I need to figure out how to do the whole short game. Okay, that was from a day ago. Let's see here. We watched those. We got that. Registered out of Colorado. So we'll watch this one here. Crime 2.
All right, now our other top story, an update in the murder investigation of 4 University of Idaho students. Here are the top 3 things you need to know that have just emerged today. First, after a video was taken on night of the murders from a downtown business, police have confirmed they have now identified a man who was referenced in a security video by 2 of the victims from the night of the murder. Police are saying that man is now cooperating with police. Also tonight, after an extensive search for a white Hyundai Elantra, Moscow police believe one was spotted near the crime scene the night those students were killed, and they have long said that whoever was in the car could have critical information. Well, now they are aware of a white Hyundai Elantra located in Eugene, Oregon. That's the car you're looking at right now. We also just learned from Moscow police that car is registered out of Colorado. They believe it has no connection to the property in Moscow where the murders took place. The Moscow police chief did give a full breakdown today of where the investigation stands right now. Here's what he had to say.
That's okay. We got that video already. I thought they were going to go into more detail about it being registered out of the state. Let's see, that's probably the same thing. Video. Ooh, I want to see this. Possible escape. All right, I think I'm going to knock out these 4 videos right here. About 20 minutes worth here. Telltale signs. A person is harboring an awful secret.
For more than 5 weeks, has carried around he or she, most likely he, slaughtered 4 college students.
When we watched that body cam footage of that September 1st call to that property, and they just shut the door, and Ellie was knocking, and they weren't even, it was crazy. And when they were walking up, how loud the music was, how loud people were screaming, it was like, dang.
Students in Moscow, Idaho, and that is not an easy thing to hide from friends and family and literally everybody else every moment of every day. So, is it possible that the killer is exhibiting some strange new behaviors these days, giving off telltale signs that would be huge red flags for people who knew what to look for? I'm joined by Robin Dreek. He is a retired FBI special agent and the former head of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program. It's the program most often featured on the hit TV series Criminal Minds. So, Robin, what should we be looking for if, somebody's behaving differently around us? What kind of signs should be exhibited if someone's committed these heinous acts?
Hi, Ashley. It's simple as really just being present and seeing what deviates from someone's normal behavior. And we've all experienced this. We can always tell when someone's having either a really good day or a really bad day because we pick up a lot of nonverbal cues from these people every single day. The challenge in this situation is more time passes, the likelihood of the personality type starts edging more probably towards psychopathy and a lack of empathy. So we're going to probably pick up on less visual cues than we normally would.
I'm going to get back to this in a little bit, but not before I ask you, what is happening behind the scenes right now? There's 2 behavioral analysis unit members that were assigned from the FBI to this case, and it's been 2 since the get-go, and it's still 2 today. So what are those 2 people doing, and what exactly is their work product?
The The fact that there's two is really good. And the fact since the get-go is also really good because you want a really consolidate effort of all the information that's coming in so there's not a miscommunication between a lot of different people. So these two are at the top, and at the top what I mean is there's 60 other individuals associated with the FBI that I saw, and it is an investigative team. And as your last guest was saying, you have the younger corporal that's kind of leading the bench here, and these people are part of that bench. And so these two are taking in all this information, all this data, and they're basing it off of their expertise in looking at these heinous crimes as a career and trying to match up the intel that's coming in, the data that's coming in with their research that on past murders that have been similar-ish in the sense of, quadruple murders and other such things like that.
So I look at behaviors of like serial killers like BTK and Golden State. We watched them up close and personal in court, and they couldn't have been more different. BTK was just pompous as hell, so proud, and just seemingly completely unaware of how horrendous he was. I think he just basked in the loveliness of it, even though he had a family, and had this fake life going on that was so innocent looking. But the Golden State was a former cop who just was stoic and obstinate and surly, and didn't give up any of the goods. So I'm trying to figure out, how do you get in the head, or how do you profile when it looks like they can be so vastly different?
It's actually kind of similar in the two, in the sense that if you start edging up towards psychopathy like that, it's all about grandiosity. It's how big they can make themselves look, how smarter than everyone else they are. And it's a total lack of empathy that they have, which makes it really, really challenging to see this in a community. It's why these things can go on for a while, because when someone's not exhibiting a deviation from a standard normal behavior that someone that has committed something like this would generally have, that makes it really hard to see. And so that grandiosity starts kicking in, and they might want to flourish it. They might want to get some sort of psychological reward out of this for themselves, to say, look at me, look what I've done, look what I've accomplished, look who I'm getting over on this.
So if I'm the behavioral analyst on this case, how do I distinguish between the possibility that this is a serial killer, because that is always a possibility, or just someone real angry, an old boyfriend, an old girlfriend, a neighbor who hates noise? Where do you even begin to find that?
First thing you're going to do is try not to have any sort of confirmation bias. So you don't want to be looking for things to try to prove one thing or disprove another. You're just going to be present and take in as much data as you can from all these different possibilities. And you're just going to look for any deviations you can. You're going to look at all the interviews that are being conducted, and you're going to assess all these individuals, all the people that have come in and out of everyone's life in the past couple of years, past couple months, past couple of weeks, see any kind of patterns and deviations from the patterns, and just see what's changed from before to now.
It's fascinating stuff. I'm going to have you back. This conversation's not over. Rob Rodrigue, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, he seems pretty cool. Okay, let's see what Brian Enton does here. Maybe this was a video. No, he said he was going to be at the police station. So I didn't see that video.
So this is the house behind me, that's where the murders happened. Crazy that it's now been 37 days. We want to show you what it would be like driving out of here. Keep in mind, it's light out now. It's snowy. It wasn't snowy when the murders happened. We want to show you what it would be like driving out of here. Everything on both sides of the car, and all the chances that the person may have been seen leaving the house. Again, keep in mind, different vibe in the middle of the night. So come down this way. This is a little alleyway in front of the house. You can see there's houses on both sides, apartment buildings.
It was from December 20th, I thought. Let me see. It was whenever this last video came out. Let me see something. Yeah, December 20th. So that would have been last night's show. It would have been last night's show because they were going to be doing it at the police station. But I didn't see the video on the feed, so I don't know. Oh, that's a
between these
tight fit.
cars here,
Holy
these
crap! With all
reporters
that snow and ice. Oh man.
turn out here. Most of these are students that live in this area. That's the Sigma Chi
Oh wow,
house
that's crazy.
right in front of us, Ashley. And then this is Taylor Ave. So we turn on Taylor Ave here, Sigma Chi house, Band Field, which we've talked about, where that body camera video came with the kids who were drinking. That's Band Field on the left. On the right, look at these apartment buildings. Two apartment buildings on the right.
That's on the body cam.
Remember, there's one building where we found out they gave up video. They had a camera that was pointing down towards Taylor Ave.
Really?
More townhouses.
Really? Down Taylor
University
Avenue?
is on the left. Student housing is on the right. I told you, it's dense over here. I mean, it's not, like a wooded area along these roads. You've got a lot of houses and a lot of students that live in this area. A lot of snow now too, by the way. Again, remember, it wasn't like this when the murders happened. There wasn't really any snow.
There wasn't any snow, really.
Gets a little more woodsy in this direction as we continue down Taylor Ave. And then right up here is the intersection with 95, which is sort of the main drag that goes through Moscow. So you've got the 76 gas station and the A&W on the right here. You remember, we confirmed that police got video from that busy gas station. And then this is Highway 95, sort of the main drag. If you go right here, it kind of gets rural out there. It goes right outside of town. If you go left, which we'll go left, I want to show you how much action is over here. Again, busy. More apartments. A camera right there, that apartment building facing the road. And then University of Idaho left. Stores, you've got a Pizza Hut here. You've got more student housing here on the right. And it's busy. I mean, granted, 3 a.m, it wouldn't be busy down here, but a lot of stuff going on in this direction. You basically hit downtown, you go through sort of another busy area, and then you would be sort of back on rural highway on the other side. But this sort of gives you an idea of what it would be like driving out of that area and just how much there is around. I mean, I know people think that Moscow, small town, and it is, but it's packed in here. It's dense. Apartment buildings, houses, businesses, and a number of cameras that do point at the roads. So look, hopefully that sheds some perspective. And obviously we don't know which way the killer went. If he went in that direction, I think a big difference maker would be if he made
Taylor
right
Avenue,
at that
though.
gas station the way we didn't go. It gets very, very quickly. There's a school out there, like an elementary school, but not a lot of cameras, not a lot of houses, not a lot of businesses. The way we went to the left, though, that would mean the killer went right through town.
So fascinating. I mean, I had no idea. That took 3 minutes and 40 seconds for you to get from the scene of the murder. Basically, you could have been headed out of town. That was so quick, and I didn't realize it was that compact.
Wow.
Thank you for watching.
That's crazy. So they have camera going down Taylor Avenue, which is a road that they would probably have left on if they were on by car. That's pretty obvious. Let's see. Cyber sleuth spot suspicious car and body cam. Damn, I should have made my short
For better or
2
for
weeks
worse,
ago.
the mystery of that car has online sleuths working overtime to try to track down answers. And one of those folks is Chris Hall. He's the host of the Mob Crew on YouTube. Hall was able to triangulate the time and the place that a video camera on Linda Lane, right there, pointing, the big arrow is pointing right to it, that video camera captured the white Elantra traveling just east of the murder scene. The owner of that footage confirmed to News Nation that the video shows a white or a light color car heading west. That's to the left of your screen on Taylor. And it's also towards the student's house because you would curve around and down to the bottom of your screen and up to the student's house there. So that all happened between 2:45 and 3:15 a.m. He also confirmed police have seen that video. So they've got it. They know about it. And then Chris Hall zeroed in on another set of video cameras, the police body cam videos from a nearby underage drinking incident on a school field. The field is located along Taylor Avenue, and Chris Hall was able to see in the background of the police body cam that, yes, a car indeed drove right past those officers. Look at those headlights. That was 2:58 a.m. Now, of course, looking at it from here, it's really hard to tell what kind of car that is. It's in the dark, right? But Chris was able to zero in on it and then overlay a white Hyundai and a Elantra and overlay it onto the car in question. And when you see that happen,
Wow.
you can judge for yourself whether or not you think this is a good match, whether this might be exactly the same car. Joining me now is Chris
Wow.
Hall himself. Chris, thanks for being on the program. So what was your reaction when you put two and two together and you ultimately put that overlay on top of the car that was speeding past the drinking incident?
Yeah, I was kind of excited. The fact that this car was driving at 2:58, which is according to the December 16 document that says that this car was spotted between 2:45 and 3:15. And here comes this car driving by at 2:58. And it's hard to tell the color, but as it's passing by towards the end, you've got the headlights of the officer's car facing east, and you can kind of get an idea that it might be a white car or at least a light colored car. So it's a good possibility that may be the car because that is right in the middle of that time frame.
It does look like a light car, that's for sure. You actually were able to kind of assess the grille and the lights when you did the overlay. What was your assessment of that? Did they look like a match?
I can't say 100%. I'm no a car expert, but I would say it's pretty close. I'm still doing some more research on it, but it definitely is a pretty close match for sure.
Yeah, that was pretty close.
So now what other clues? Because this is this new age we live in, right? So many interesting clues come from the cyber sleuth community. In fact, I have seen a serial killer tracked down by the cyber community before the police were able to. So I understand there's a lot of crazy stuff out there as well. But what other stuff have you been able to sort of look at and give a second glance to?
Like the grub truck video, and a dicing that's get some more context to what's being said in the grub truck video. It's hard to hear what's being said, but there's a few things because obviously there was kind of an altercation at the corner club bar, and then you've got hoodie guy and the tan hat guy there as well. But it seems like there's a little short interaction towards the end, just before the girls leave, where they kind of point towards their direction and say a few certain words. But yeah, it's really cool to go back and reassess, and every time you look at the video you figure out something new that you didn't see the first time, and that's what's amazing about having cyber sleuths looking into this kind of stuff.
It's a lot of eyeballs. And of course, there's a lot of video to look at as well. So it can be helpful, it can be hurtful. I totally get it. But boy, that was fascinating to see that car overlay. Chris Hall, thank you for being on the show. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching.
Cool.
Go to News Nation.
That was really cool. Got a pretty close angle of it too, to kind of overlay it. That's pretty neat. I'm going to save that video too. All right, let me see if we got any breaking. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, here's this. Here we go. I forgot about this one. Whoops. There we go.
Playing everything, Jennifer. And what we're seeing here is this local cop, Chief Fry, has been getting heat. It's too slow. You got too many people saying different things. You're not capable of doing this. He's got somebody telling him about the media, or he's checking it out himself. What does a statement like that mean to you?
Well, he wants to make it very clear that they have prosecutorial jurisdiction, that this is their case, it happened in their town. But make no mistake, they are partnered very closely right now with the state police, and there are 60 FBI agents on this case. And I assure you, the analytical group and the support group within the FBI that has lent themselves to this case is not being run by that chief, but rather being run by the FBI.
Now, on this point of advocating for the job and how it's being done, I have used the Gonsalves. Kaylee Gonsalves is one of the victims. Obviously, her family hired a lawyer. I've had him on a couple of times to talk about it. You say it's a dicey proposition when victims' families have an attorney and they're weighing in the way this counselor is. Why?
Because it's taking away from the case the time that law enforcement is spending answering requests of this attorney, having meetings with this attorney, and so on and so forth, is only taking away from manpower that could be otherwise used to solve this crime.
Right. Now, look, I hear you about that, but I also see their side of it. They're desperate. They get misgivings. They're not getting communicated with. I understand why you're going to start to feel aggressive about that. Now, Joe, there are a lot of people who are aggressive in this situation. We have this emerging true crime investigator digital reality where people are looking at this stuff 24/7. And in some cases, they've scrubbed up some media information that they've added to the understanding of the context of what happened that night. But you believe it's a slippery slope, that sometimes help can be too much help.
What?
Yeah, just look at the sheer number of tips they got. 10,000 tips on this case, and the question comes down to how much of value do they have. And for the police part of it, they have to answer out every one of those tips that come out. We'll vet them out. If it means something, then they need to go and do that. That's why I think we saw even more FBI agents were added to the list, right? So it's always better to have more added than subtracted, because that would have been a bad sign. But the problem that you're dealing with is the sheer amount of information, and how much of it is really going to amount to anything. And that is something that, this is a day of reckoning, I think, this case too, about how much pressure that we've seen put onto this police department and the state and the FBI in regards to it. And it is immense.
Hey, Thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com.
It is a mess.
Newsnationnow.com.
It's a big freaking mess. Well, that's going to be it for tonight. I don't know. It's kind of not a bad setup, actually. I might lower the stuff on my wall here. I thought my camera would pick more of it up, but I'll be back on tomorrow night, and I have Friday off now because of the storm coming through, so we shall have a late show tomorrow night, and I'll probably get on Twitch and do some gaming as well. And I'm going to go ahead and hop off, and actually I might get on Twitch here in a few and do a little bit of gaming before I head to bed. But I want to thank you all for hanging out. Sorry about the break there. I had 49 days in a row. But I definitely needed the rest. Thanks so much, though, for hanging out. And I appreciate you. Hope you have a peaceful and positive evening. And I will be back tomorrow. Bye.